Singapore's Competition and Consumer Watchdog is clamping down on firms publishing fake reviews. It has ordered Loft Home, now that's a furniture retailer, to remove existing fake reviews and to stop producing any new ones, in the first such case of its kind. This came about after one customer saw a post attributed to her on the retailer's website. Accompanying that post was a photograph of a home that she had not taken, along with a review that she had not written. At least 7 other consumers were also affected. Further investigations by the Competition and Consumer Commission show Loft Home was responsible for posting these fake reviews, as only they had access to the photographs and the customer information. It has since issued a formal warning to the company, warning it will take harsh action, including going to court if this should happen again.
E-commerce is an emerging and important area, and we have seen more cases in recent times. These cases are difficult to detect, and we are growing our toolkit so that we can take action in an appropriate case so that our consumers can make their purchasing decisions based on online reviews more confidently.
To talk us through this, we have with us Mr. Ng Ming Jie. He's Director Consumer Protection at the Competition and Consumer Commission of Singapore, or CCCS. Thanks so much for making the time to come in this evening, Mr. Ng. The action against this particular company, why did CCCS feel it was important to do this?
So fake review is a concern of ours. As you know, we rely very much as consumers on reviews to make our purchase decision, be it, looking for a new place to eat or considering something to buy. One of the first things that I would do is to look for reviews, because that's the way that we tap on the experiences and the feedback from other customers just to make sure that the product that we're going to buy is going to meet our needs. So it's precisely because of that fake reviews are particularly harmful because they mislead consumers. And that's the reason why we have taken firm action in this case against Loft Home Furnishing.
In a way, it's awfully hard to do, because if you think of it, you're a company, right? You sell enough products to anyone. So, for example, sometimes if I buy something, I get a company or a seller on eBay continually messaging me to say, can you please leave a review? And I think, well, this is a fairly straightforward transaction. I'm neither hugely positive nor hugely negative. So in a way, reviews, but they could push me hard enough. I said, okay, fine, I'll just leave you a positive review. So why is it so important that the reviews we give are in fact truly reflective of our experience?
I think, as I said, it's important for our reviews to be there, to be genuine, to help other customers to make informed decisions on their purchases. I think in this case, it's particularly clear that for the business to be making fake reviews and posting them on their website.
No, I suppose my point is that it doesn't have to be outright fake. It could be, just to get rid of messaging. And I give something, it's sort of positive, but it's not hugely necessarily true. Is there anything that weeds out this kind of sort of middling kind of reviews, which are in fact untrue?
I think, end of the day, from the perspective of a consumer protection agency, I think what we want to make sure is that businesses do not do anything to change the reviews that were submitted by genuine customers.
So it's just actively
That's right, because when we talk about a case like this, we are taking action under the Consumer Protection Fair Trading Act, and that is a legislation that makes it an unfair practice for any business to do or say anything that would mislead a consumer.
So right now, does CCCS have its own mechanisms to pick out on fake reviews, or does it rely on consumers to, in this instance, for example, complain that that's not my picture, that is not my review?
So we try to do both. We do try to actively scan reviews to detect telltale signs if reviews could be fake. But we also have to eventually rely on more manual methods in order to confirm that the reviews are fake. So for this particular case, while we do use web scraping tools to look into the large volume of feedback that's on the Loft Home's website, we also had to eventually call up some of these customers to confirm that they did not actually submit those reviews.
All right, thanks for those insights. Now we'll return to you from another angle shortly. But for now, let's take a look at another report on this related to this news. Fake reviews are used to either boost a company's reputation or to damage it, as Mr. Ng suggested. According to those in the legal profession, both are unlawful. Nicholas Ng finds out how to spot these fake posts.
First Page Digital helps other companies improve their online presence. However, the firm takes a special interest in fake reviews, which have some common telltale signs.
1-star, no explanation, no other reviews given in the past. Very, a high indicator that this might just be a fake review, essentially.
Part of what they do is also to help clients spot and remove negative fake reviews, instead of fabricating positive ones to gain traction online.
If you have a review rating of, let's say, a 2.9 out of 5 on Google, for example, it would take you a lot of time to actually generate positive new ones, reaching out to your clients, etc. If you would just purchase fake reviews, you can get it done in a very, very fast way.
One analyst says fake reviews in Singapore are more common in sectors like retail, hospitality, and services.
This tactic of fake reviews is often used by smaller businesses trying to compete with established brands, as well as by larger companies looking to maintain market position. These fake reviews can be quite effective because for short term they can increase consumer trust and higher sales, especially if the fake reviews are well crafted and appear to be authentic and credible.
Lawyers say companies are breaking the law when they create fake reviews because it creates a false impression to mislead customers. They add that regulations could be strengthened to prevent such harms from taking place.
Penalties are provided under the law are pretty mild. There should be powers provided under the law to ensure that there are criminal penalties against these suppliers or sellers so that they'll be more afraid of doing all these unfair trade practices in the future.
According to a 2021 report, online fake reviews have influenced consumer spending to the tune of an estimated 204 billion Singapore dollars in sales worldwide.
Oh, Mr. Ng joins us again. He's Director of Consumer Protection at CCCS. What has been against Loft Home as an example? So it's been told to take down existing reviews and not to put any new ones up. And the warning is if it should do that again, it could be taken to court. And we just heard in that report by my colleague there, stricter laws, so preemptive laws, as opposed to warning that if we do this, we are going to do that. What kind of, in terms of stricter laws, what do you foresee being effectively put in place legally that can minimize this kind of fake scam reviews?
So when we look at the current case at hand, we do see that the current Consumer Protection Fair Trading Act, as it is, does cover practices like this because it covers a wide range of business practices that may mislead or deceive consumers. And that is why we have taken action under that piece of legislation. We have, of course, accepted an undertaking in this case because the company has been cooperative and was willing to admit to its conduct and put in place safeguards to address our concerns. But if they do not comply with the undertaking, we could reopen the investigation. We could, under the current Consumer Protection Fair Trading Act, go and obtain court orders against the company.
Right, all this is taking place, again, as you stressed carefully, under existing legislation. But given the way, I suppose, the way we shop is changing, our digital engagement is also changing, this problem is only going to be getting larger. Do you see the existing law continuing to provide the level of protection that consumers need, or would we need to add on to that perhaps over time?
Of course, when we're talking about legislations, we continually revise them. We continually review them to make sure that they are fit for purpose and are sufficient to protect consumers. But when you're talking about the digital space, right? Technology is evolving very quickly. It's an area that we are looking at closely, and I think that it is not just a matter of laws, but there might be other ways that we could try to encourage businesses to be more upfront and transparent with consumers and not to resort to tactics, like making of fake reviews in this case.
All right, businesses, they have vested interest in, I suppose, engaging in practice like that. But the other end that you could also look at is for consumers themselves to be a lot more savvy when it comes to possibly spotting fake reviews, assuming one can do that. Is there scope for that in what CCCS can do in terms of educating consumers, users?
That's exactly right. There could be fake reviews out there. It might be practically challenging for a regulator like the CCCS to go after every single one of them. So it is equally, if not more important, for consumers to protect themselves by exercising due care when they're relying on such online reviews to make their purchase decisions. So we have developed a set of consumer tips really to help consumers to navigate this space. In essence, we are really saying that consumers should look beyond the headline rating scores. They are issued together with our media release.
All right, okay. Thanks so much for coming in and advising us on all these matters. Mr. Ng Ming Jie, he's from the Competition and Consumer Commission of Singapore, CCCS. Thanks so much for coming in this evening.